dreaming. Soon as I step on the scene, I'm hearing hoochie screaming, fiending for money and alcohol. The life of a West Side player where cowards died. It's our ball. Only in Cali where we ride, not rally. It's live and die. In LA we wear chucks, not baddies. That's right. Dressed in lopes and khaki suits and ride is what we do. Floss but half caution, we collide with other crews. Famous government program. Worldwide, let them recognize from Long Beach to Rosstrand. Bumping and grinding like a slow jam. It's West Side, so you know the road won't bow down to no man. Say what you say, but give me that bomb beat from Dre. Let me serenade the streets of LA. From Oakland to Sacktown, to Bay Area and back down. Cali is ready for the Mac down. Give it up.
Knows how to party. California knows how to party.
Hey, who'd you talk to? What's going on? It is me, Mike Lepre, King Michael. This is Legit Paranormal, brought to you by legitpodcast.com. Sunday night, the Giants are 6-1. I know that many of you think that's sports related, but if you've been a fan of the Giants for the last 5 years, you realize how paranormal it is. It is October 23, 2022. Now, for the math geeks, I already did this morning, but I'll do it again. What I ended up with was 1 plus 0 is 1, plus 2 is 3, plus 3 is 6. And then you got 2 plus 2 plus 2 is 6. You got 6s on both sides. That's something the math geeks can at least entertain themselves with. Joining me, as always, Buddy Money Fair. What's up, buddy?
Good evening, Mike. I looked at the date this morning, and I thought to myself, Mike's going to have something for the math geeks because it's such a whimsical number today.
Whimsical, yep.
Whimsical.
Buddy, I was told not to slouch, so I keep trying to sit back and stand
up. Straight, Mike. That's good.
Yeah,
it's good to get back.
I keep getting like stop slouching comments. Like, what the hell's that? So, buddy, this is gonna be a fun night. We have a fun guest.
I'm very excited for tonight's guest, Mike.
Would you like to do your beer of the week first?
I would love to do my beer of the week.
Thank you, sir.
When speaking about paranormal events like the New York Giants having a winning football season, I found myself in the local liquor store today, which is very paranormal for me because usually I visit the breweries and I get the beer right from the breweries. Usually. I was in this particular liquor store. It's in Greenville, Rhode Island. I'm not sure the name of it. It's right near Jeffy Hearn's house. So if he's watching, Jeff, you know where I'm talking about. The place that has all the good craft beers, right near the hardware store.
Doesn't matter.
Right near the new Dunkin' Donuts. Anyway, they have this beer, and it's by Union Station Brewery, which is right downtown Providence. Beautiful location in the old train station. They have this new beer. They call it the Avon Nightmare on Thayer Street. I said, what could be more paranormal than a beer with my name on it? It's a pumpkin spice ale. It's not tremendous, but it's pretty good. It's a 5.2, 5.6. So that's a wicked easy drink for Buddy.
Yeah.
And it has my name right on the can, and it has Freddie with his finger, waiting to kill somebody.
Yep.
As they walk out onto Thayer Street in Providence. So that's my beer this week, Mike, and I'm very excited. But don't you think
Legit Paranormal Brew would be a better beer?
It probably would, Mike. This is very pumpkin-y.
Yeah, you break my heart, man. I want to make a real beer, taste like beer. We call it Legit Paranormal Brew. And then they say, what does it taste like? We answer, beer.
Beer.
No fruit, no vegetables, no chocolates. We just go, what does it taste like? Beer.
Good beer. Good beer.
Introduction, buddy.
That's that shit you're buying. Oh, so joining us, speaking of not that shit that you find in the liquor store,
pretty much
joining us live from Block Island, a.k.a. New Shoreham, Rhode Island. He is the owner of what Block Island Ghost Stores. I love your logo, by the way. And he's the owner of the most non-touristy, most awesome local bar on Block Island, Club Soda. Get down there, have some beers, enjoy a good time. Welcome to the show, Rick Lysik.
What up,
Rick?
How are you doing?
Good, man. Good. How are you doing?
Fantastic.
So, Rick, this is unusual for me because it's weird how the connection that you're Rick Lysik, it just throws my whole head for a spin. I mean, if you saw in the intro the picture of me when I dressed up as your brother at a wedding, It was one of my favorite nights of just ball breaking because wherever he went, I walked next to him, and it was perfect. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And good.
I was gonna say 3 years ago there was about 10 of us, and we all dressed up as Dave for Halloween.
You know, there's something about him. He's so good at what he does. He's such a smart kid that I like to make fun of him. I don't know why, but you know what I mean? It's like because he can take it, I guess. But so Rick, when did you go to Block Island and start stuff?
I came out for one night about 21 years ago and ended up staying.
Wow. Wow. So wait a minute. What happened on that one night that you went?
I was in transit. I was living in Colorado, and the gig I was doing there was up, and I was moving to Oregon. Had about a month in between. Came back to Rhode Island, family and friends, and then about day 8 of staying at my parents' house, I needed to get out for the night. Came to Block Island, and they offered me a bartender for a couple of weeks, and that turned into 21 years.
And you know that's how Lysiks do it, by the way. They join something, and then within like a month or two, they own it or they're running it. It's true.
It's been a blast.
So, how long have you been running the bar?
This is year 13. Last night was our last night of the season. Capped it off with DJ from Silks, and actually after this, we're gonna go have a little employee party and drink what's left.
Nice. Who was the blonde girl that I made fun of her hat? I try to apologize, but I guess you think
Roxanne Jasparo.
That's not her. It's a younger girl. No. Put a picture in the thing.
That's Maddie Armstrong.
That was her name, buddy. Maddie. The one that I made fun of her hat because she kept talking while I was talking. Right. Yeah. I felt bad. I felt bad because I went into Rickles mode. Like, you know what I mean? Like when you're on stage and you're trying to talk, some people they wilt, and we saw that. And some people, you know, they get like me, Rickles like, and I was just like, you with the hat. I mean, because all I could see was a hat. I couldn't see her head. But I apologized because afterwards she came up to me and she said something like, "You were really mean to me." And I was like, "I'm sorry." You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Just another thing add to me how horrible person I am. But I digress. I apologize. I hope she accepts it. So, all right, you open the bar. When does the whole ghost stuff come into play?
You know, we were toying with here for probably 6 or 7 years, and then COVID hit, and we had 6 months to get it together. We just ended our 2nd year, and so we've been doing it for 2 years strong, and yeah.
Okay, let me ask you this: how have you been received by the paranormal community, and what are your thoughts on the paranormal community?
We've been received, I mean, with open arms, actually. You know, it's been great. Block Island special just because there's so much stuff going on out here, you know, and it's, you know, a destination place. Everyone that we've been involved with so far has been really, really great, you know.
That's awesome to hear, buddy. That's pretty rare.
Yeah,
but awesome.
Yeah, it is. It is awesome to hear. And what people don't realize, I think, about Block Island is they'll show like Ghost Hunters where they go out there and they investigate like 1 or 2 places and they think that's it. Everywhere on Block, I've been telling people this for years. Everywhere on Block Island is haunted. Everywhere I've ever been on Block Island has activity.
It's great.
People I know that have lived there for years and years and years. Everybody has a story about one place or another and how haunted it is. It's absolutely insane. Is it the geology? Is it the moving water? Is it the fact that mankind, European mankind, has been out there for 400 years? Native Americans before that, bloody warfare, incredible history. So I don't know. It's just an incredible place with a lot of.
I take offense when you say Europeans have been out there for 400 years, there, buddy.
Why is that?
I take major offense. You're gonna have to drink. As an Italian, we are Europeans, and there were no Italians on Block Island 400 years ago. Would never happen. You'd never have an Italian get all the way here and then go out to another island. We don't do that. So Rick, all right, so 2 years ago you started this. How did you organize your team?
Well, it was started as my brother and I.
There you go.
Because we were the first ones to, you know, really get involved, and then we took on Holly Herdman, who is the brains in the organization behind all of this.
We need that.
Yeah, that's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
And people just started, manifesting. Journey and Maddie, a couple of our guides, they fit perfectly. And
They're not witches, right? They don't have special powers, do they?
They're working on them for sure.
Ah,
We also have Roxanne. Roxanne has been working with us too, who
That's
is
awesome.
is the witch, and she's taking them under her wing. So I think a coven is starting for sure.
yeah. Totally
Roxanne-
Maddie out of that. I don't want nothing coming my way. Go ahead, buddy. I'm sorry.
Roxanne's been here on the show. She's absolutely fantastic and highly talented, really down to earth.
Yeah, she's special for sure.
Yeah, and you also thought she was the one that I made fun of her hat. And I apologized
Right.
to Roxanne, and she messaged me back, "What hat? What are you talking about?" And I'm like, wrong person. And then I wanted to text you and tell you wrong person, but I took a hit. All right. So where does your brother fit in? Let me ask you this, because here's where I picture your brother fitting in. He's really good at planning stuff. He's a good idea man. He's very good at getting you to at a logical stance. He has that whole theory of getting everything down to zero. So I've worked with him before, which is odd. And he's really like, if you want a creative person to work with, that was like one of the top guys that I would go for when I was in the music scene. And what's great about your brother was that he believed in every crazy idea I came up with and helped me follow it through. And then we created the Two-Headed Monster Show, which sold out Lupo's. We did Backroom Music Fest, which was the Met and Lupo's for 2 days at both rooms. He was just one of those people that if you had an idea and he believed in you, it happened. So do you possess that too? Are the Lysiks both like that? They both get together, they say, this is what we're going to do, and then it's done. Seems like it.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's the deal right there. He's always great to work with, and he keeps me grounded. I'm always trying to do some crazy things, and when he agrees with it, we usually go forward. It's great because he's also the skeptic with all of this. So I get freaked out. When the spirit box tells me he wants to see me bloody, but he keeps me coming back as well.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. That's not good. Yeah, it's good to have someone grounded though, and you're surrounded by a bunch of witches. And you have somebody that has brains. See, our organization, we have a bunch of handsome people. Well, not me, but Buddy and like Joey. Like I hired models. I know what I'm doing. I know what I need to get. And look at the background Buddy's got. Look at that window. Look where he lives. Look at his backyard. He's got loons. Right, Buddy? Right, Buddy? Loons?
Right out down there by the lake. Yeah, they breed right down there.
How can you touch the window? How did you touch the window?
I'm pointing through the window, Mike.
Oh, my bad.
I'm pointing through it. Yeah,
Okay.
it's okay.
All right, back to Rick. Rick, so now you opened up ghost tours with the bar, right? Now, are there other bars on the island? Look, I've never been to Block Island, so I speak for the dumb. I am actually a very...
Oh, dude, you don't know, man.
I am the person for the dumb. Are there other bars on Block Island?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, there's
how many?
Yeah,
there's a bunch. There's a bar for every kind of person out here. We got the higher class bars, we got the rock and roll bars, and we got the dive bars. I love my dive bar.
It's the best dive bar.
Yeah. Our goal hopefully is to make that dive bar the best bar on the island.
Speaking of that dive bar, can I just throw in a quick question here, Mike? I've heard rumors.
You already did.
All right, good. I've heard rumors over the years, Rick, that the
froze again, but your AOL
old
dial.
hotel that's above the dive bar might be actually haunted itself. Can you speak on that? The bar haunted? Have you ever had any experiences?
Oh yeah, well, plenty. We believe that the ghost that's in Soda. Well, we think there's a couple of them, but most predominantly, if you've been in Soda, we have a mural that goes 360 degrees around the bar, and it was done by a guy named in the late 40s, and we think it's him. He hangs out by the men's room in the corner. Anyone who's worked there for any amount of time, even some of our regulars, see him. I've seen him at least 10 times.
Wait a minute. Stop. Why is he hanging out by the men's room? That's a creepy ghost.
Uh,
Rick, that's more than just a ghost. Why is he hanging around? He's what they would call back in the old school days, a pecker checker. So why is he hanging around the bathroom?
Well, that's it. He basically, his story was he basically got thrown out of Europe for partying too hard. Found himself on Block Island, and the party continued. He traded that mural for booze and a place to live.
Perfect idea.
It's an amazing mural, and it really depicts the island from 1949. So you see everything that on the island, but it's from back then.
Let me ask you this: the history of this island, is it ugly, buddy? Do you know the history of the island too?
It can be a little bit ugly, Mike. There is a little bit of an ugly history to Block Island. Yeah.
Well, tell me, because I know nothing about Block Island.
I was talking about the Native American history earlier on. So back in pre-1600, pre-white settlers, I believe it was the Manasees who were occupying the island, and the Pequots who tried. No, the Mohegans tried invading, and they were climbing up the bluffs, and they were invading the south side of the island, and the Manasees pushed them right off the bluff, killed the entire Mohegan army, and it's now named Mohegan Bluffs. It's a really awesome scenic place to go. You can climb down the stairs. You can look at the views. It's down near the southeast lighthouse in Block Island, which is really fascinating.
That's it. They actually held them right on the edge of the bluff for about 6 days, starved them out before throwing them up.
And then they pushed them down. That's great. The Native Americans were good at torturing people. There's 2 Native American cemeteries, if I remember right, on the island as well, right? Yeah. So that's pretty cool because you don't see those too often.
You know what I always wondered about? I always wondered about how, like, they always talk about the genocide of the Native Americans by settlers, and then I always think about how brutal the Native Americans were to each other's tribes. It's just a weird thing. It's like the way they killed each other was just as brutal, if not more brutal. It's just, I don't know. They killed Buddy. I'm going to go on the record, Buddy, and say all those people that killed are jerks.
They were jerks, Mike, for sure.
Jerk. Yeah, jerks. We'll call them jerks.
Yep.
All right. So, Rick, you give tours on this island. Now, if you were to walk me through the tour and not give me all the great stuff, but if you would tell me to walk, first of all, how long is the walk? What's up, Sarah?
It's a real, we do a couple different walking tours. The one in Old Harbor, they're about a mile, and it takes about 70 minutes to do. But right downtown, I mean, we joke around that it's harder to find a place that isn't haunted downtown as opposed to a normal town. Yeah.
I'm basically asking because I'm old and I don't want to walk more than, like, say 4 or 5 miles tops.
Oh, don't have to worry about that. We have a van tour for that.
All right, because honestly, buddy, there's not a tour. If you told me I was going to see an alien and, like, the creature of the Black Lagoon, I still wouldn't go on a tour where I had to walk over 5 miles.
Oh yeah, no, that's a lot of walking for someone of your age, Mike. It's a lot. It can be a lot. Being
59. Well, no, I turned 62. Being 62 is rough, and your back hurts.
That's why Mike, he has a van tour, and his van tour, ironically enough, is done by a friend of mine, Seth Dulac. Big shout out to Buckwheat. Does he still do your tours? Yeah, I hope so. As I'm giving him a shout. Okay, good. Great guy. I love Seth.
You just call him Buckwheat?
Buckwheat. That's what his nickname has been over the years. He's a white kid.
I don't care what color he is. I'm just asking what his nickname is. Why'd you have to get all weird like that?
Because
Buckwheat.
I don't know.
I caught you, you bastard. All right. So on the tours, Rick, you go all over the island. Is it dangerous? What is the terrain like? Are we just visiting spots?
No, it's not dangerous. The terrain is fine. We don't go any place that people are going to have an issue walking with. Yeah, no, it's a real easy walk. I mean, the history basically dictates it. So, and there's just so much of it that it's one right after another.
How'd you get your team up to speed then? Like, in other words, they're going to do a tour and they want to point out certain parts or areas. So how did you get your team up to speed, knowing where they were going to take people and what they were going to tell them when they got there? Like that whole the script. Like,
I write the scripts. The first script I had, my buddy Christian helped out a lot with, and it was just basically nailing down the history, and then it's just repetition. We go out until they know it cold, and then it's constantly evolving too, because there's constantly stuff that we're learning, all the time.
Yeah, I got to tell you though, Rick, I would be an excellent guide. I would be probably one of the best guides that's ever existed, because I would take people all over the place, and we'd end up at the bar. That's it. That's all I got to do. That's all I got to do to be right, buddy. Right? You'd be like, that's a great guide, right?
Well, we do our spirits with spirits pub crawl. So it's all bar.
Awesome.
So
yeah.
I don't think they want me on this island.
When do you guys do that? I want to go to that. When do you do the
no
the
kidding.
pub crawl?
We Fridays and Mondays during the summer. Yeah, right now.
I went out that Memorial Day weekend. I gotta go back out during the summer.
The season is ending, right? The season is ending.
Crazy out there in the summertime.
Yeah.
When does the season start?
After Columbus Day, everything basically shuts down, and then
After what day? I'm sorry, Rick. What day?
Columbus Day, Indigenous Peoples Day, as they call
There
it.
it is. I know that day. Sorry, my bad.
And then Labor Day, things start rolling, and by that first week of July, it's a madhouse down here for a couple months.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What Sarah wants to know, do you guys do any rituals or spiritual appeasements on the tour? Like, in other words, they're not anger said spirits.
Roxanne does a lot of that for us.
Mm-hmm.
We probably should, because we've stirred up some things here and there, and it would be wise for us to start buttoning up a little bit.
Yeah, because have you ever used a Ouija board?
Yeah.
Did you know that you had to close out every session?
I did.
I did not. So I did not. So that's kind of like what you're doing at the bar. Like, I had no idea. Like, I never touched one, but when I was near one, the rules never say close it out, because you might lead open a portal to demons. I read the rules. Parker Brothers didn't put it anywhere.
Yeah.
No.
As they make it.
Even with
Anyways,
I make sure to take you and goodbye.
So you're stirring crap up. Okay. Now, with the tours, I know around Block Island you had what? A lot of shipwrecks?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's two. There was a bunch, but there's two famous ones that really pertain to the ghost situation out here. There's the Palatine and the Larchmount. The Larchmount was an overnight ferry that used to run from Providence to New York. Long story short, it went down after hitting another boat, and there was bodies washing up on Block Island for about 10 weeks. And they stacked those bodies in a couple different places, and both of those places, feel the repercussions for it. And then there's the Palatine, which was, 1738. They left for Philadelphia from Germany with 200 passengers. Their water was contaminated. By the time they got to Block Island, they were down to about 50 passengers. Ooh. And, the way I say it, there's two versions of the story. There's the Happy Islanders story, where the Islanders saw the boat in distress, rowed out, took them back. And then there's the less popular version, which is probably the truer version, where they set up a false lighthouse by stacking hay bales and having either a horse or a donkey carrying a torch going around it, brought them on the rocks, then took what they wanted before burning the ship.
Wow. So there's that story, the second story, then there's probably the third story, which is the truth. And it's probably a little bit of both, but I'm going to guarantee it was a donkey. That's what they use donkeys for. Buddy, that's what you use a donkey for, not a horse. Donkey.
Set them up, right, with the jackass, right?
Yep. Hell yeah. Okay, so they use fake lights, and there was shipwrecks. Now, do we have any elemental demons, you think, because of shipwrecks? Do we have anything coming up out of the water because of shipwrecks? What am I worried about?
I'm not a big elemental.
I know you're not, but what kind of ghosts would we get from shipwrecks?
The
passengers.
What we have, they call it the Palatine Light. So they got here on the 26th of December. So from about the 26th of December to the new year, if you look off a certain point of the island, you can see the Palatine Light, and it looks like a burning ghost ship.
Time out. What do you mean it looks like a burning ghost ship?
It like the burning ship. It's been documented in our papers for a couple hundred years.
Mhm.
About everything was starting to settle down, and an islander about 100 years ago went over to Europe, sat down at the bar. He was visiting family, ended up telling the guy next to him about the story of the Palatine. That guy happened to be a guy named Whittier, and he was actually a pretty famous poet at the time. He wrote the poem called The Palatine Light, and it stirred up the controversy again because it referred to the islanders as the wreckers.
Wow. First. Second, Nicole asks, is Harbor in haunted?
Harborside Inn, yeah.
Harborside Inn haunted?
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to say
yes.
yes. I think we're all gonna say yes on this because so far everything's been haunted. Like energy draws like. She said, did he say Palpatine? Like energy draws like. By the way, Sarah is so smart, but won't come on the show, and she peppers us with questions. Sometimes I have to go get a dictionary to keep up with her, but she's on point. So don't slip, Rick, because Sarah catches us all slipping. Yeah. If Ray was there, they don't have to let me slip because if I slip, then I'm slipping. All right, back to shipwrecks. Now, let me ask you this: you've had experience with the voice box, the ghost box?
Yeah.
All right. It's basically a guitar amp skipping channels. Am I right?
Yep.
I don't know. Look,
it is. It really
the
is.
dumb need to hear that. Look, you say spirit box, and people go, "Oh my god, is it like a white glowing box that they?" No, it's a guitar amp. That's it, and it's skipping channels constantly, channel to channel. Right?
Radio, yeah.
It's like the scan function on your radio, but super fast.
Okay.
On your car radio.
And the thing is, when you get sounds similar to a wisp phenomena or St. Elmo's fire.
Oh.
Now Sarah's using jokes. What do we do now? Are those jokes? All right. You know, she just threw me off. Where was I, buddy? What was I just saying?
We were talking about
You're not paying attention either.
yeah.
Rick, what did I just say to you? What did I just say to you? Rick's not paying attention either.
Oh yeah, we were either talking shipwrecks or spirit boxes.
Spirit box.
We're talking about the guitar amp. Yeah.
So when did you first start using or being around a spirit box?
We were getting ready to do the tours, and it was actually Dave who got the spirit box, and he gave it to me, and I said it's absolutely ridiculous. I'm not going to use it, and he said just try it while we're practicing the tours, and it started talking right away.
All right. What have you had to say to you?
Well, there's a few different ones. There was a plane crash that happened out here in '96, pretty crash. And then during one of the tours, I find that it hardly ever really talks to me directly, but I use it at some tours, and sometimes, it really, there was like a 3-minute conversation between this guy named Jeffrey and the guy on my tour. What's your name? How are you? Dead. How did you die? The plane. And it went on like that for like 3 minutes. The only reason it stopped was because there was another woman on the tour who was like, you guys are messing with the devil, and started running away from our tour. So.
She ran away?
Yeah.
She ran away because she thought you were messing with the devil.
Yeah, no, it's funny some of these people who volunteer for, ghost tours and then don't really
I was just going to say that. I was just going to ask you, she ran away, but didn't she sign up for ghost tours?
Yeah. The worst tour I ever had, we have a cruise ship that comes in, and it's, usually filled with, between 75-year-olds and 85-year-olds from the Midwest. And I took this one tour out this summer, and, they were praying, they were crying,
Oh my God, I wish I was there.
I
wish I was there. You know what, dude? I would be such a great plant, because when they started to get hysterical, I would join them. And I'd make it even worse. Oh my God, we're all gonna die. I'd be like, something's touching my hand. My hand. Buddy, you freak out, right? Drop your pants. We'd be like, ah. The whole place would go nuts.
Yeah. Talking about mass murder, the serial killers out here. At the very end, I decided to break out the spirit box, and I said, well, this is 2022 version of a Ouija board, and they were like, nope, and half the tour just turned around and walked right away from the tour.
You just swipe by. You just breeze by serial killers.
He did, yeah. He just kind of skipped by that.
You just like, serial killers. Back to
Dropped
the
that
bar.
suddenly.
Yeah, no, we have Hayden Clark, the cross-dressing cannibal killer, was
Wow.
out here.
Wait.
Shocker that he ended up on Block Island.
Wait.
Cross-dressing cannibal killer.
Wait. Cross-dressing cannibal killer.
Absolutely.
That's an awfully big nickname. This person, so you're saying he cross-dressed, which is quite all right nowadays, buddy. If you want to do it, feel free.
Yeah, right.
Quite all right. And then he proceeded to what? Kill and murder. Who? Who's the cross-dresser going after?
The two murders he was convicted for was a 6-year-old girl and a 23-year-old woman in Maryland. But in prison, he started to confess, and they think that he actually killed about 14, 15 people.
Oh, wow.
Yep. They actually brought him to the island in 2001 with the FBI. His one contingent was for coming to the island was that he wanted to be wearing a wig, a dress, and he wanted to be referred to as Kristen Bluefin the whole time. His brother is in a California prison for killing and grilling his next door neighbor. She was a married woman. He liked her. He had her over dinner. He put the moves on her. She didn't like that. He didn't like that. She didn't like that. So what do you do?
Wait a minute. Time out. What do you do? With time out. So now he's a cross-dressing serial killer.
Yep.
His brother is also somebody who killed somebody and ate them.
Yep.
All right. So let me say this. First off, that cross-dressing guy killed a 6-year-old child.
Yep.
That is unexcusable. That one right there.
Yep.
There's no joke. But then you said he also killed a 23-year-old woman.
Yep.
I'm going to say that this guy, I'm going to go on a limb, buddy, say that this guy's a real jerk. Would you agree? All right. His brother, who is another cannibal, which makes you think, what do they eat at home growing up? What did mom serve up? What did they do for dinner that these two both were like, I'll eat people? Like, food couldn't have been good. No, couldn't be good. Could not have been good food.
They weren't
right?
Italian, Mike, for sure.
No, Italians do not eat people.
No.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? All right. So, anyways, his brother goes on a date and I guess you said makes moves, and the moves are not appreciated.
Yep.
So I always say nowadays, what the hell is a move? Like, what constitutes a move? You can't really make moves on girls anymore. I had a conversation with my son. Goes like this. He goes, I know I was out. He's like 19. I was out. I saw a girl. I was talking to her. She was drunk. So I backed away and I let her be. And we went home because, I don't want to take advantage of a drunk girl. And I feel like a complete horrible person deep inside because I'm like, Mike, when I was like 18, 19, and I'm not joking, we went looking for the drunk girls and the drunk girls went looking for the drunk guys. That's the truth. You know what I mean? I get people take it to extremes and, they murder, rape, and eat. What a jerk. What a jerk. But I always wonder about moves. How do you make a move on a girl nowadays? What do you say to them? You can't say she's nizzle. You can't do nothing, right? Right? It's like Bill Burr. Like, I'm just going to stay in here and you do the motion. All right. Anyways, I digress. Man, I digress on this one. We did a thing with the spirit box once to start off this show, Rick. We've been doing it for almost 2 years. And Buddy was at the Armory, and he was with Kevin Hart, and he was using that guitar amp, which is what I called it at first. And we went 55 minutes, dude, of nothing. Just and there was a little part of me that was so happy. Like I just couldn't wait till the show ended so I could be like, buddy, guitar amp, huh? Not a thing, dude. What the point? And then at 5 minutes of Buddy goes and asks a question along the lines of, what do you think? How do you feel about do you think that a certain person has done a good job with the place? And Rick, it goes, and we got it on video. It goes, and you hear, absolutely.
Yeah.
Now they start laughing at the Armory, freaking out, right? I don't know if they're breaking my chops. What's going on? I don't know where that noise came from, but apparently it did come from the spirit box. And like I've always said, it came out of the 50s. He had a certain sound of his voice that you could pick from an old 50s radio. Like, absolutely. Like, it just had that sound. So that freaked me out, right?
And again, it wasn't through one sweep. It wasn't through two channels being swept. It's like 6 or 7 channels on the radio being swept at one time.
That's
Like,
those,
and you're coming through on those 6 or 7 different channels. That's what makes it so believable, I think.
yeah, those are the best ones. You know, multiple word answers are great too. Our first year doing the tours, we just had the old harbor tour, and then over the course of last winter, we wrote the new harbor tour.
Mm-hmm.
So we hired, you know, a couple of Maddie and Journey, the tour guides, and you know, before we really opened up that tour, we practiced.
She didn't wear the hat on the tour, did she?
all the time.
Oh, no. Really? That's her hat?
That's her hat, baby. So we practiced the tour for, you know, about 10 days, and every day we're practicing with the spirit box, and it's time for them to do the tour. So I send them out there, and for the first 3 days that they did the tour, they turn on the spirit box. It says, "Where's Rick?" I'm kind of a chicken, so when they're asking for me by first name, I get a little weirded out.
Yeah, dude. But if you're chicken, right, you would not open a bar on a haunted island and then have ghost tours, because if somebody says, "Hey, where's Rick?" it's like they're just checking in, dude.
Yeah,
So
I suppose.
you're not afraid of bringing that home with you. You're not afraid of anything attaching itself to you and being like, "I'm gonna hang with Rick for the summer because it's awesome in Block Island."
Well, there's that. It hasn't happened yet, so we'll see. I'll keep you guys posted if it does happen.
See, now, what if I came to the island, buddy, and I just acted like a complete maniac and just blamed it on spirits?
You fit right in, Mike. You fit right in.
Can I pull it off? Would that be acceptable?
On Block Island, absolutely.
All right, then I might do that. All right, Rick, you got the bar, you got the ghost tour, you got the different things going on the tour. I guess my biggest question, really, honestly, when I looked at everything, I wrote down was why. Just why? Why in general get into something that involves ghost spirit? You know the place is haunted, and you're poking the bear. I mean, maybe respectfully, maybe disrespectfully. I'd never been on tours, but you're poking the bear. So, as a scared person of paranormal, I'm like, I don't know if I'd poke the bear to begin with. So I gotta ask. I know you ended up on that island, and it all just kind of fell into place. But I gotta ask, when it comes to involving yourself with this stuff, why?
Well, to be honest, when we first wrote the tour, we called it a ghost tour, but it was more of a dark history tour, because there's so much history on this island that, ghost or not, we could give this tour and it would be interesting and good. And then, the word got out that we were doing it, and we started to get the stories in, and we started to use the ghost box, and it started to be active. And, yeah, I mean, it just naturally worked itself that way. One of my favorite things about doing the ghost tours out here is, you get a lot of these older, saltier islanders, who will walk up to you while no one else is around and say, "Rick, I don't believe in any of that bull crap, but this one time," and everyone out here has a story. You'll see I got to get you guys out here, and there's places that we're just starting to get permission to that I got a feeling I got to blow the doors off anything up to this point.
The everybody, the everybody thing is expansive. So check it out. So you stumbled into something and you leaned into it, right? You leaned into it. You said, "Hey, it's haunted. Why not make it about that? Like, let's bring it in." It's just that, like, from what I hear, Block Island is so potentially haunted that it's like, and no one can tell me from who. Like, there's all these different hauntings. Like, it's because it Native Americans? Is it this guy? Is an Italian guy named Joe? Probably not. Different things like that. But so I get scared of the whole island in general because I've never been there, and I'm scared of places, buddy, I've never been.
That's a shame, Mike. Block Island is a beautiful place. Whether you're going out there for the ghosts, or you're going out there for the beautiful beach atmosphere, or the summer town, or the just that 20 minutes slower than everywhere else kind of feel. Everything island time is like.
I always thought if I went to Block Island, buddy, I'd be with I'd have like a body and a bag, and then a bag of lime.
You could do that too, I'm sure, Mike. There's 365 ponds on Block Island that I'm sure you could dump a body into.
That's just my thought process. Like, where am I going? Block Island, the perfect place. Perfect place.
You
There's
just
a
got to get
whole-
it on the ferry, and that won't be a problem.
No, it won't. I'll do like Weekend at Bernie's. All right. So we go on the ghost tours. This is going good. Hopefully there's an expansion coming up to make it bigger.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Now we still have the show on the 27th, buddy, at the Parlor.
Right.
Something we have not really advertised for, but which we
Not
should.
at all. We haven't talked about it at all.
We need to tell our groups to come because I envision that night as a night where everybody can get together. And like Rick said, everyone has a story.
Mhm.
Literally everyone has a story. Dude, I hosted a Bigfoot con a year or two back, and I liked it. But what I didn't like was that everybody there, because I was on the microphone, found me out to tell me their Bigfoot story.
Of course.
Rick, that's like 100 Bigfoot stories. And I remember I'm in the elevator. I'm with Genius Kevin. I'm like, I swear to God, if someone else comes in the elevator and asks me about anybody comes up to me and asks me about Bigfoot, I'm gonna wrestle. Like I'm gonna go at it. I can't take it no more. And then on the elevator comes that guy, buddy. His arms, when I say they were about this big, because they were so big that I literally sought this guy out and I was like, how are your arms so big? And what is the actual size? Because I'm in the pro wrestling events and I'm looking at the guy going, how big are your arms? Anyways, he comes on the elevator. I can barely fit in, right? Because it's the four of us, me, him, and his arms. And there's no room. And I'm like, oh God. He goes, so he threw rocks at my camper. And I'm like, who, what? He goes, Bigfoot. I'm like, oh no. He goes, yeah, threw rocks at my camper. And then he paused because he wanted me to ask a question back. I could tell I'm good at conversation. I was like, God damn it, I got to ask. I'm like, what did you do? And we were off and running. I'm just trying to get to Red Lobster. I was so happy they had a Red Lobster there because they advertised Red Lobster in Providence all the time. And it's such a tease. It's like, screw you, Red Lobster. Where do I got to go? Friggin' where? 2 miles? 2 hours? Red Lobster. Anyways, yeah, they ask a lot of questions. So on the 27th, I really want to do ghost stories. So I talked to Greg, the guy that runs the bar. And what we're going to do is have a sign up. We're going to have some people that are there as guests that have ghost stories. And we're going to invite other people to have ghosts to come up and tell their stories. Now, I want it to be a celebration. I want it to be all the people we really know come and drink and get to know each other better. That's my goal. I did not want to get quote unquote guest speakers. Does that make sense? Like, I don't want to hear guest speakers because I know what they're going to say. I want to hear everyone else's ghost stories because that's what I'm interested in. Finding out stuff I haven't heard before and gathering more information. So, and I know your brother would be money with this. We could do something where it was a continual show in different areas because again, everybody has a story to tell.
Mhm.
And a ghost telling night could reveal some great stories, right? You could get some really crazy stories. You're going to get some crazy people.
True.
And you might get some they're not scary stories to you, but just scary to them. And to me, that's also interesting. I love what makes people scared. Like, I don't want to hear ghosts, obviously, you know what I mean? Dracula, obviously, you know what I mean? Like a high fucking electric bill, obviously. I want to know what scares them, like what really scares them. Because Rick, these guys and these gals, they operate in the whole ghost world, right? And they do all these things, and they hear all these ghostly things. They get scared really, but not really. Not scared enough where they stop. So it's like, what the hell would scare these people enough to make them stop? So what would it take to make Rick Lysik say, done, Vince Carter, done, I'm out?
It came close this year once.
Oh wow.
And it was the spirit box again. It was a place that has other tour guides have had aggressive, dealings through the spirit box. I happened to be there with a group. I figured we'll try it once just to see what happens. And yeah, it was pretty aggressive, First it told me I sucked. Spirit box came back to me. I said, I figured I'm only here once. I will poke the bear. And I said to the spirit box, you told me I suck. What if I tell you that you suck?
Hell yeah.
And then it goes right back, you're bloody. So I said, all right, I apologized, went back, dropped off the tour, sitting down, smoking a butt at the table in front of the spot. Spirit box turns on by itself about 10 seconds later, says, hello.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Oh,
no.
That's great, dude.
You can ask Holly. She happened to be at the desk that day. I said, I'm done. I'm done doing this. This is not fun. And she said, all right, you have a tour in 20 minutes. So
That's
I showed back.
one, that's scary to have happen.
Yeah.
Two, no Italian tour guide would stop from that. The Italian buddy drink, an Italian tour guide like myself would be like, yeah, you suck too. And then he'd come back, well, you're all bloodied. And I'd be like, really? Because I don't see any blood, dum-dum. I think I would call the ghost dum-dum. I think that name would be the most poking. Like
antagonistic.
I can come up with worse names, but to me, dum-dum's a good one. I'd be like, yeah, well, I'm going to be bloody, dum-dum. And then when it said hello, Rick, you should have said, hey, what's going on, dum-dum?
How you doing, dum-dum?
That's it. What's it going to do? What's it really going to do? No offense. What's it going to do? I want to find out what they're going to do now. Now I need to find out what this ghost is capable of. No, buddy, that's my problem. So I don't want to go to these places because I want to know what his problem is. Like I could not just rest on it going like, you're bloody or, might go screw yourself. I'd be like, dude.
That's honestly that's awesome that it turned off on you, Rick. In my years of using the spirit box, I've never had it turn on and say stuff. I've had it, we're doing it, and then suddenly you don't hear it anymore. And we looked, we checked the battery, we're looking at everything, and sure enough, it was just the switch, and the power switch was turned off. So
yeah, but buddy,
how they can do stuff like that in the first place just blows my mind, and it happens right there in front of your face.
It like I said, when Dave got it for me, I was like, this thing is silly. I'm not going to use it. It's just time after time that it's got to be what it is,
Right. We had a similar experience with the Avilius. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but it just kind of reads the atmosphere and shoots off words. It was something that I was like super skeptical about. I'm like, this is just a toy that they use on TV. This is nothing. This is a prop. This is bullshit. And we used it in a case, and we were talking about something. It said the name Mary, and the client I was with, I'm like, I did the whole history of the house. I don't know anyone by Mary in the house. Maybe it's just a radio sound. And he's like, my Nana, her name was Mary, and I'm like, well, how long has Mary been dead? He's like, about 15 years or so now, blah, blah, blah. And then grandmother came out of the Avilius, and that just stuff like that it's just too much of a coincidence sometimes, I think. Yeah. And that's what makes me believe it.
Did they say Mary once or twice?
It said Mary once, and then it said grandmother about 4 minutes later.
Because if you heard it say it Mary twice, you listened to it, right?
Who was I listening to, Mike?
Run DMC. Mary, Mary. No one knows it? You guys can't finish that line? Why you bugging? You know what, Rick? Oh, buddy, when you find Mary again, that's what I'd ask her. Just ask her, why you bugging, and see what she says. And she comes back with the next line, next verse, you're screwed. You're screwed. So, all right, yeah, Sarah's right. They tend to get chatty once the cameras are gone. Is that true? Like when there's less people, less of a to-do, did the voices speak up?
They're not shy. The local library here had us come for the last 2 Fridays. The first Friday was the teen group, and then this past Friday was the adult group. And the library has a history to it, like everything else out here. Mm-hmm. But there was like 6 or 7 teens, and the spirit box we were working. We had dowsing rods, which I never used, and we tried, and they were going nuts. I mean, it got so bad that I had to, on the first Saturday, I had to text a couple parents and apologize because their kids aren't going to be sleeping for a while.
That's a tough one right there. Scaring teenagers.
Mm-hmm.
Tough to scare a teenager. They're ready for anything. They're willing to die for anything. These teenagers, they're nuts. But yeah, and imagine dealing with the parents. like being like, they came on this ghost tour and they heard like, that she's gonna die and get, molested and raped and burned. No big deal. She'll be home. Like that must be tough. That I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah.
And you made the who calms everybody down? Who gets all the hysterical people in and is like, all right, chill out. Let's have it. Shirley Temple's on the house. Relax.
That's not my job. I tell the stories, If they I always like to, you guys signed up for this.
No, dude. You know what? If there is a phrase that I think needs to be used in the paranormal world is you signed up for this.
Yeah.
Because, again, let's go back to our cryptid Bigfoot theory. Again, they go hunting for Bigfoot. They say they find them. And what do they do, buddy, when they find them?
They run away, Mike.
Yep. And Rick, the analogy I always use is if I was looking for my keys and I found them, I would not throw them away. Because I'm looking for them in the first place, right? So if I'm looking for Bigfoot, I'm going to at least find Bigfoot or confront Bigfoot. Yes?
Absolutely.
Right.
Are there any cryptids on the island?
Ooh, that's a good one.
I don't think so.
There's a shitload of deer on Block Island. A shitload.
There's a ton of deer.
Like more than people.
I don't like deer.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
I hate deer.
Oh, yeah, they're everywhere. And so is Lyme's disease. So always check for ticks.
They're awful animals, deer. Like everyone loves deer. They're like, oh God, look at that deer. And it makes the word awful the sound. And they're dumb and they shit everywhere and they eat all the. I'm not a big fan of deer. I don't like hunting deer, but I don't like deer in general.
The town will pay you to hunt them. They give you like $125, $150 a tail out here.
Wow.
What? Just the tail or the whole deer?
Oh,
The whole thing.
Yeah.
I'm kidding, buddy. I'm fucking kidding, buddy. Buddy, I'm not that. All right, I get it. My idea was it would have been funny if me and you ran around grabbing tails. That would have been awesome. But I got one. Rip. You know what I mean? Like that's fun. But I was joking. And by the way, does it look like your window leaned back? Is your house shifting?
Mine?
Buddy? No, buddy. But see, Buddy's been trying to tell me that's a window.
It is
for like 2 years now, Rick. I don't think it is. I can't prove it. The sun never sets. And there's no frame.
It's just this time of day, Mike. Here in Smithfield, it just looks like this. It's different in North Providence because I don't know. Yeah,
I don't know, buddy. Rick, give me some. All right, so give me some horrific events or scary moments from other people that they told you they had. I want to know from the staff. Like, you had to have staff at some point come up and be like, "This just happened."
Oh, yeah. No. That one spot where the it's actually out in front of one of the churches on the island. One of our tour guides from last year would use the spirit box there, a couple times a day, and she has stories of like it saying you should hide. You know what I mean? Her getting pushed. Yeah, I mean it's going off.
Should you use a spirit box all day?
What's that?
Should you use a spirit box like all day?
I don't know.
Rick, why do I get a feeling like you guys are building something that like when I get to the island, there's going to be just like ghosts with spears dancing around me. And you know what I mean? Like Buddy's going to be like, the lights are going to go out, lights will come back on, Buddy be covered in blood. Like that's not going to happen, right?
I hope not.
Oh boy.
But
that's not even a guarantee, buddy. There's no guarantee there.
No guarantee, Mike. Block Island's a fun place, Mike. I don't think you realize the potential behind Block Island.
It's beautiful out here, Mike. We got to get you out here.
You know what? You're having that the team gathering for the drinking. That's something I would be invited to. Like that's up my alley. But I know it's a team thing. Buddy's been doing Ocean State Paranormal for 2 years that I've been here. I've promoted Ocean State Paranormal
10 years now, Mike.
Yeah.
10.
And they made 10 years. Still has yet to invite me to his group. Still. With all the work that I do for him. With all the work I do, he breaks my heart. I have sad mornings. I'm gonna be honest. Sad mornings about Buddy. Anyways, Rick, what 5 years? What are you doing?
5 years. We're keeping on. We're learning as we go. It seems that every time you turn a page on this place, you learn something. You learn something new. So we're just gonna keep on rocking. We're gonna keep on learning. The history is not stopped yet. So yeah, keeping on, brother.
I'll tell you what, Cody, this kid right here at the bottom of the screen, this kid, Cody, class act. Class act. One of the nicest kids in the paranormal world. Literally one of the nice, and you know what? They're not all nice. No. This kid, great kid. I'm so glad that he tuned in. Sarah said, use McGate as bait. You guys are like old married couples and the paranormal Timon and Pumbaa. I don't like that because I get the feeling I know I'm playing the groundhog, whatever the hell that thing is, and
You're definitely the groundhog, Mike.
but the other boar, I would guess. And
It's whatever,
I would have the better character, but I'll stick with Sarah. Thank you. Sarah goes like, ooh, her mind's like on 400 levels. Let me ask you this, Rick. All right, 5 years. That's what I want to know. 5 years. If you had to use your paranormal abilities, where would you be in 5 years? Where would the bar be? How is the ghost tour developing? Buddy, get out of the mirror. How does it go 5 years from now?
I think that it's just will be a lot more experiences. I want to do some overnights. I want to get other people into these places that get to do all the time. Yeah, buddy, you're more than welcome anytime, brother.
All day, man, all day.
I have some great ideas that I'm gonna
some lighthouse stuff. It's there's enough to go around out here, which is pretty cool. So the more the merrier, and yeah, let's film it, let's tape it, and let's show some people.
Right.
Have you used Dave's hair as part of the attraction to scare people?
That is the one cryptid I am not going to go in there.
Wow.
That here
Cryptid
is
Dave
so unbelievably legendary.
Yeah.
It's beyond legendary. And again, I have to say it, at my wedding, he took his hat off. You know the honor I felt to see Dave walking around my Italian relatives with his hat off? Because I don't think he had any intention of taking his hat off. And it was either Fred or somebody that leaned into him and was like, you got to take your hat off here. And the kid did it. And I've never seen his head before. I saw it that one time. I've never seen his head again. Have you?
I haven't seen it in 30 years. So
that's my point. It was unbelievable. It was like a unicorn walking around the room the whole time. I'm like, oh my God, who's that guy? Oh, wait a minute. All right, stop. Buddy, question you got. Go ahead, go.
Oh God. So my only experiences on Block Island are Hygeia, obviously, but Hygeia was so tremendous for us. What other places on Block Island could you recommend to an aspiring paranormal investigative team or a long time investigative team to have it go out and to investigate on Block Island?
I mean, the Surf Hotel is right downtown, and you can get in there. The Harborside, which was mentioned earlier by that girl. The lighthouses we're going to do this winter. Well, at least one of them. Yeah, like I said, there's any place out here. I
don't have to ask. I mean, I before I even started thinking about ghosts on Block Island, actually it was my wife. She bought me Fran Migliaccio's Time to Drink, Mike. Ghosts of Block Island 1 and 2, and it's absolutely fantastic. Some of the stories that come out of those books are mind-blowing.
Oh yeah, the new Sherm House is
New Sherm House. I wanted to go there since I read about it, and I used to walk by it because I had this friend Shannon used to live right there on right across, practically across the street from it, and I used to walk by it a ton of times, thinking what's lingering up there, what's lurking up there.
Oh, for sure, it's a super haunted spot.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of the residences that we're starting to reach out to, and hopefully they'll let us in there. A place called Beck Farm is
yes. Oh my God. My God.
What's Beck Farm? What is it?
It's huge.
It's huge. What is it?
It's an old farmhouse. It was the place that they used to store the bodies in the wintertime when the ground was too frozen to dig. And I mean, basically something happens there every day. The new owners are trying to poo-poo the whole paranormal thing, but hopefully we can win them over.
So, all right, they're
Yeah.
poo-pooing the idea, which I haven't used since I talked to my kids in 04. When they're doing that, it's because they don't want the stigma. Now, that makes me think, how does the rest of the island respond to you in the ghost stuff?
You know, we have it's a small island, so everyone's got their opinions. We have a lot of people who love us. You know, there's people who are like who aren't into the paranormal thing, and you know they have their opinions. But you know,
well, because look, say I'm an old guy, I own a bar, I've been on Block Island for a while, and then here come all these people wearing black shirts looking for ghosts. I might have an issue. If they are somewhat with the times, they wouldn't. But I can see somebody who's like, "Oh, this has been my bar for years. I don't want ghosts brought around this because I might lose drunks." You know?
yeah, you know, and to each his own. But we're still gonna have a drink with them. You know,
basically roll over them. Look, you don't compete, right? There's no such thing as competition, as Kobe Bryant would say, even though Buddy doesn't like him. As Kobe would say, there's no competition. The goal is to do something that they're not doing, so you're therefore not even competing with them. So there's no other ghost tours currently on Block Island, right?
No. And you know, we get along with the other businesses, and you know, it's a small island, so you got.
But the ghost market's yours.
So far,
you're worried about another bar opening up a ghost thing?
No.
There's not even a paranormal team out there, as far as I'm.
We're working on it.
I mean, there's nothing out there paranormal, and they have such a paranormal hold on that. Oh my God, it's ridiculous,
buddy. You need like 5 minutes to go take care of yourself with this. You're really
no, Mike. No, it just excites me. Block Island, it does.
You give me
so many good experiences I've had out there.
I know, but you're giving me heebie-jeebies with the way you love it. I mean, I've never been there. I just feel like you're ready to, you know.
Oh, I just want to immerse myself in the paranormalness of the island.
Yeah, that's not what I was thinking. But so, Rick, now the season will start back up. Do you expect to get all the same people back? Like, what was their reaction when they left? Like, as they're leaving?
Oh, team? Most of, I mean, with the bar and the ghost tours, you know, we're basically all people who are out here, and the few that do leave for the winter, come back. You know, so we'll be going strong with our crew.
Now, the crew, you have to pay them. I would expect.
Yep.
Now, I guarantee there's no union. Buddy, is there a ghost hunting union?
Not as of yet, Mike. No.
Okay, we're just double checking.
We don't even get along. Forget unionizing.
So when you pay these people, do they ever ask for raises when they get so terrified that they don't want to do it again?
Not our people love it. You know,
good.
Most of them are a lot braver than I am. We'll put it that way.
That's good.
I might need to ask Holly for a raise if she wants me to keep doing it.
That's how that works, because like I had Joey Paranormal. He's now on a permanent hiatus. He wanted too much money. Same thing with M1. Mr. Never Left. Wanted too much money. Buddy's been killing me because Buddy thinks for some reason he's the face that runs the place. I got this whole email, Buddy. I won't air all your dirty laundry, but like some of the stuff he asked for, Rick, ridiculous.
Like, we're doing this, and
I'm going to say ridiculous. But here's what I got to say: I did have a conversation with your brother, and we discussed things. He is one of my again. I said this before. One of my favorite people to throw ideas at, because as crazy as I sound, he knows I'm not crazy, and he figures out how to work with my craziness and put it together. And the conversation we had and the idea that we built and that I'm still building, which I hope that you and your brother are part of, the whole group, we figuring out a way to make it all connect so that everybody knows it's just a better vibe, just a better connection. You know what I'm trying to say, buddy? Like, we don't want to take the shine from anybody. We're not trying to compete with anybody. here at
We
Legit
want to share the
Paranormal.
light, share the
Yeah.
goodness.
Our goal is really to see how much we can spread so that we can keep the information all located, all central from different areas, and we can actually get information from different ghost hunting groups. I want to see for my own whatever what it's like if they're in Georgia, or if they're in like Kentucky, California, Buffalo. What's the difference? What is the difference in that ghost hunting group? What questions do they ask? Like, what's your background check? How do you do this? And then I can't wait to see what they have for evidence, because, all right, evidence is ridiculous. I don't even want to use the word anymore, because, again, there is no amount of evidence that's going to convince somebody differently. You can't show somebody anymore on video and they can get a reaction. Dude, that voice we had on the voice box way back. I have 2 kids, my wife, my brothers. No one's watched that episode. I can't get them to. It's like, dude, we got evidence. Like, yeah. It's like everyone's got evidence. It's like I no longer use that term. I want to see what they have, for information, because some people will show you a picture and there's just like a light in like the mirror, and they're gonna go on for days telling you it's an orb, and you're like, yeah,
Sure.
that light. It looks like, bad. Remember when they used to go behind the beads to get your pictures? You drop off your pictures, and the guy would be like, come back in 3 weeks or 4 weeks, something like that. I'll let you know, right? You go behind the beads, that little shack, and they print them, they smell. I miss that shit. But anyways, I digress. The amount of information they collect, I can't wait to see the stuff that either freaks me out or there is no explanation. And there's so much of that stuff all around. And to only concentrate on our area, you get the same stories, the same information, the same areas. Like, that's not interesting. Interesting to me is I want to learn everything. Yeah. So Block Island is something I believe has yet to be blossomed.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's it. So, the area. Come on out.
I talked to Dave. I can't wait to have a talk with everybody offline. But yeah, it could be such a big hub. Because it can be connected so easily to the whole Providence group and then around that bar. Your dive bar is a great idea. I think it's something in like 5 years, if you keep doing all this stuff, becomes an institution. It becomes something people go and see and that they know about, which I think is awesome. I think it's an awesome idea. I mean, I think you're onto something big time. But there's no bars that are like unbought or free, huh? They're not looking for an idea on how to style a bar. Idea. My idea would be better than any bar. No offense. Other than your bar, second best bar on the island, buddy. Imagine Bar Fangool on the island, buddy.
Bar Fangool on Block Island,
buddy. Give me a little shack. You just give me a little shack, right? Whatever, little bar, little joint. I hire an old guy wearing a wife beater. Buddy, I want an old guy wearing a wife beater. He serves the drinks. If you order something that he deems that has too much fruit in it or anything like that, he insults you. I want a girl working as a waitress who claims she's just working her way to become a hairdresser.
Oh, of course.
They got to wear name tags. They need to say Rhonda or something like that. The guy's going to be named Vinny, Tony, something like that, the bartender. Yeah. And then, buddy, I need a big, gigantic guy at the bar, at the door, the bouncer, like Vito. Right? And then you come in, everything is New York, Bronx Tales. Look, all we play on the TV is Bronx Tale, Goodfellas, all that stuff in repeat, right? There's De Niro pictures. There's all that stuff everywhere. We got mop beans on the bar to wipe your face with. We don't offer napkins. It's a whole deal, right? 7 and 7s are always on, like, not on the house, but they're cheap, right? And then my biggest thing I keep telling you is if we're going to fully make it Italian, right before you go into the men's room, I want a big mural of Bill Buckner's legs going over the door. So you got to go through Bill Buckner's legs to get to the back.
Like kicking the fucking.
Oh, would that be great?
Any Red Sox fan, Mike,
and then you get to say, "Are you going to Bar Fangool?"
They look at you through the computer.
Yeah, but are you going to Bar Fangool? Oh my God! Of course I'm going to Bar Fangool, guy. Are you kidding me? And then Rick, I know this is what I do. What I would do, Rick, though, is for you, we take one booth and we just rope it off, and we put a different light on it. And it doesn't have to be a special booth at all. Just a booth, and you sit there and you don't talk, right? Here's the deal, though. Every time you get up to go to the bathroom, on your way to the bathroom, you buy drinks for people. You just do stuff like boom, boom, boom. The bartender gets them all drinks. They can't wait for you to piss. Like, everyone's waiting for you to piss. Dude, when that guy goes to piss, he gives out free drinks. What? He does? He does. Watch. And then you get up, you go to walk the bar, and they're all waiting, and you just go. And then you go to the bar, and 3 people get drinks. Buddy?
It's a great selling point.
You don't ever say a word, Rick. You just dress up. You sit in your own booth. You only allow certain people to cross. And if you ever need people to come there, we get one of the bouncers to come grab the rope, click it,
Open the rope.
walk it back, lay your guys in, click it again. We go to the nines with details.
I love
Anyways, at your bar, tell me about the decorations. Describe the bar to me because I haven't seen it. So if I'm looking at your bar, your dive bar, I like the term dive bar. What am I looking at?
So we're in the basement of a old hotel. Used to be the stalls and for the horses, actually. So and then when you go in, it's a old round bar, and like I said before, it is a 360-degree view of the island done mural style. So there's mural that goes around the whole edge of the bar. There's sword fishermen who are real people. You know, their grandsons are our regulars now. It's a beautiful thing, you know. And then we got a big backyard for the games and such. And it's a bar.
You do arm wrestling?
Sometimes.
Buddy, right? Now,
Are we getting
an
an arm wrestling league? Oh, hell yeah.
Wouldn't that be an awesome thing? If they had
That'd
an
be
arm
epic,
wrestling?
dude. Go to the dive. I'm going to the arm wrestling tonight. I'll be home in a few hours. And yes, I'm going to be drunk when I get home.
No, I'm taking a fucking boat to Block Island because I'm going to go arm wrestle. That's even better because then they're
Oh,
like,
yeah, right?
what? And Rick, you'd have to do it by weight class because there's no way that like it's fair that I beat Buddy and it's like, you know, come on, Buddy should have beat me. He's so much bigger. And then like, you got to have weight classes. You know what I mean? It should be weight class. In other words, like it should be like 150 below. I say 180 to 150, and then anything over 180 is, you know, like heavyweight.
Heavyweight, yeah.
I'll make the whole league for you, Rick. Don't worry about it. We'll have the ghost arm wrestling. What?
I like it.
All right, good.
I said we'll work on the details,
All right.
the booth with the rope, the arm wrestling competition.
Yep.
I like where we're going with this.
Yes. But there is none of that game where the unathletic people stand and toss a beanbag. What is that game called?
Cornhole.
Oh yeah.
Screw it. No cornhole, Rick. None.
Listen.
It's for unathletic
It's a
people.
popular game, Mike.
Dude, I don't care. I hate people. I hate watching people play it.
It's great to play when you're drunk, Mike. It's great to
all
play.
of any game that you can have a beer in one hand and still play the game.
Amen.
All right, I got a better game for you. It's called QB54. Basically, what it is you know those chairs that you sit in, those armrests, those new chairs that come in a bag. All right, so I've built 2 of them. You take PVC pipe and you make a goal post. You cut a hole in the chair and I attach the basketball rim with a net. All right, you put it into the ground. I've played it now a couple times.
What are you doing?
No, listen, I haven't been beat. It's a real game somebody in New Jersey made in the Giants parking lot. That's become a game all over the country. It's called QB54. You played a 54, but we're so old, we play QB like 21. Here's the thing. You can be drinking the whole time. All you do is you stand near your chair. Your goal is to throw the ball into the hole. Now, the other team stands behind the chair. If the ball hits the chair and bounces up or it goes over and they catch it, it's an interception. So they can take a knee for 3 points, or if it is grass and sand, we're not worried about old people falling, they can catch the interception and try to run as far as they can to the next thing before they get tagged. They got to throw from there. Okay? You alternate every 12 points. You score by throwing 6 points from the thing, and then your teammate holds it, and you have to try to kick it through the goalpost to the extra point. That's played with a beer. That's somewhat athletic, and it makes cornhole look like cornhole. So I digress. What is athletic about standing there drunk, underhand tossing a beanbag, and then it slides into a hole, and it's like when those kids flip the water bottle, which I've yet to figure out. Like they flip a water bottle and it lands, and they lose their minds. Their minds, they go nuts because a water bottle landed correctly. I digress, but this is just like cornhole.
Dumb kids.
It's just like cornhole. Rick, so it closes soon, but what is like the official reopening of the season of it? The bar is open what, year round?
Oh, no. We last night was our last night. I'm
Yep.
actually heading there in a couple minutes for our employee party, and we're gonna finish off the rest of the booze. And then we'll be back usually around St. Patty's Day, sometime around that.
When's St. Patty's Day?
March 17th. Mike,
I don't
before
follow
that
any Irish
holiday, we go to the
holidays.
bakery and you get Zeppelins and shit.
Wait a minute.
It's like
You're opening? Are you opening about a week after St. Joseph's Day?
right around St. Joseph's Day.
Zeppelins. All right, I get that. I know when that is. We're on March. Why didn't you just say that? Why didn't you just say that to begin with? What's going on? All right,
Nobody likes St. Joseph's Day.
Yes,
Nobody
they
pretends
do.
to be Italian on St. Joseph's Day, Mike.
dude.
Everybody wants to be Irish on St.
Buddy.
Patty's Day.
Buddy.
Nobody wants to be Italian on St. Joseph's Day.
Buddy, I'll give you this. Everybody wants to be Irish on St. Patty's Day.
And I am Irish, so cheers.
The other 364 days a year, they all want to be Italian. And they
Oh,
all
get the
pretend to
fuck
be
out of here,
Italian.
dude. Nobody wants to be Italian, dude.
How many people pretend to be Irish? How many guys do Irish accents just to joke around? They do Italians. You know why? I'll tell you why. Because you can insult an Italian to his face. You can come up to me and be like, "What's up, Mike, you guinea wop bastard?" And I'd be like, "Not much. What are you doing?" I'm like, because it doesn't affect us. I don't know. We don't care. You can't insult an Italian. It's just weird. I mean, you greasy Italian. I'm like, yeah, I am greasy. I gave you that. Look at my head shining. I don't know what, I re-digress. So you start around St. Patty's Day, and then it's just open, bang, and you end around now in October. So you go from March to October.
Yep.
By my math, that's around a 7-month tilt.
Yep.
That's a lot. That is, and then for the other 5 months, what is Rick Lysik doing?
We like to travel a little bit, work on whatever we're working on. This year we're going to build a couple escape rooms for
nice.
for the spot that, the ghost tours are. And
An escape room on an island, a haunted island.
Yeah.
That's a good idea, Rick. An escape room on a haunted island. Holy Christ. You never get out, buddy. You'd never get out.
I'm
No.
happy.
Tell you what, though. Let me write the clues. You know how they have escape rooms and there's all those bizarre clues?
Oh, yeah. That's what
I want to give blatantly obvious clues because I just want to see who actually follows them. You know what I mean? Because I've seen people in that room. I went in there once with my daughter and someone else, and they said, "Go." And they opened the box, and my daughter and whoever else was with me, they lost their minds. They just started freaking out. Like this was like the most unsolvable puzzle. They pulled stuff out and they're like, "Oh, it's a plastic thing." It's like, calm down, put them down. Let's see what we got, right?
Mhm.
And then we got out of the escape room, and I remember thinking, why didn't they just say stuff like, "Go find the donkey. There's a key tied to him." Just once, because for the dumb people. I mean, listen, buddy, I know you. I know you're doing right now. You should be not doing that on air.
I'm not doing that on air.
Unhygienic. What I'm saying to you is, it's terrifying to be in a room where you don't think you can get out of, and especially if you're in a room with like people like, say, me, you, Joey Para wants to leave. Like, that might be difficult. You got to pick the right partners to go in there with.
If his wife lets him come to the island and we could do an escape room, that would be absolutely terrifying, Mike. Yes,
What if we could do an escape room from our wives?
There you go. I'm not married, so that works out for me. So I'll just come with you guys. And
Rick, do you know the people you would get on Block Island if they could have a room to escape from their wives? Like, in other words, they're stuck in the room with their wives, like chained. I think you should, from their leg to the other wife's leg. Or it could be vice versa. You want to get away from your husband. Who am I to say? Or you want to get away from your just partner. Because you know what, buddy? It is 2012. You got to be open to these things.
exactly.
Burt
We are
Reynolds.
Yeah,
Yeah, Burt Reynolds movie.
loose
So,
society.
I just think you need a quality group. And that comes down to, again, the ghost tours, what you're doing on Block Island. I think you got a great group around you. I think by sticking with your brother, I don't know how you work with your brother. I know my older brother, Ray, we work really well together. He thinks I'm crazy, but
Everybody
again,
else does anyway.
with
so
people,
it's
they
okay.
think I'm crazy until like you stick with me on it. and then you understand maybe I am crazy, but I was right. So, but I have a younger brother that we can't work on anything. Like it's just I could tell him the sky's blue, and he would tell me it's green, and that's just how that goes. Matter of fact, he's an Eagles fan.
Oh God! Oh my
How
God!
is he an Eagles fan? I'm a Giants fan. Think about that for a second. Why would you be an Eagles fan? That's the arch enemy of the Giants. My little brother goes Eagles. That's intentional. Anyways, the group that you have, it seems like you trust everybody, and it seems like you try to surround yourself with people smarter or as smart as you.
Lucky to have them. Really are. You know, we're friends, and they're they're Jedis. They do everything well.
See, that's what I am going to lean into. That's what I plan to lean into. Friends, like between Buddy and myself and the people that we're friendly with, if we could just get all our friends to be on the same page to help promote, to help make everybody make money, but also more importantly, to get everybody so that they get whatever they want out, and people get to experience this stuff. Because again, paranormal is one-on-one. Paranormal is not about what like a group saw or these stories. It's a personal thing. That's the greatest thing. It's when it happens to you, when you have a story to tell. Agreed, buddy?
Yeah, it's absolutely subjective. You can't like take my experience that I had at Hygeia and send somebody else in to Hygeia, and they would experience. They might not have a similar experience at all. It's all based on one person's experiences.
Rick, do you believe in signs like that? People try to give you signs, try to like contact you?
Yes and no.
Now, what do you mean by yes and no? That's really not an answer. Because if it's yes, there's been one. If it's no, you don't believe anybody.
No, I guess it's like anything. If you're looking for it and you get it, then it's a sign.
All right. So
that doesn't make sense.
If you recognize it as a sign, maybe it's a sign. I think
I'm gonna recap this really quick because this is one that freaked me out the most. My birthday was the 21st September. So my mom passed December 26th. Since my mom passed on December 26th, it just seems like my mom's exact words were, "I'm gonna haunt you guys your whole lives. Like you're always gonna know I'm there. I'm gonna make sure you know." And I'm not really one for that. Like I don't want to see my mom. Like if she ever showed up, I was like, "Mom, this is not cool. Like this is gonna give me nightmares. I already get enough problems." So my birthday comes. Now, my mom always thought my dad, when he passed, was a blue jay that would come visit the yard. So I wake up on my birthday, walk out in the yard, have coffee, and 2 blue jays come and land right near me. And I'm like, no, I'm not thinking about this. Walk to Dunkin' Donuts to get another coffee because, as you noticed, I drink a lot of caffeine. I say to the lady, do any of you guys remember the Hot Mama discount? Everyone there is like, "Oh my God, yeah, that's Felicia. Where's she been? This, that, the other." I'm like, "Yeah, she passed on the 26th." They're like, "Oh my God, that's..." My mom used to go to Dunkin' Donuts drive-thru and ask for the Hot Mama discount. And my 78-year-old mom would get half off on her coffee because she got the Hot Mama discount. That's crazy, right? So, awesome. All right. I go someplace. I'm sitting there. Somebody's calling someone's name. They keep going, Felicia. I'm going, "Oh, come on. Like, enough." Yeah. I come home, have a long speech with my wife about I can't take this too much. And again, you know how like when your phone gives you a text and you can only read like the first 2 lines because it's on the front of the screen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My wife says it's all right. She's just trying to talk to you. She wants to know you're all right. I'm like freaked out. Wife starts to walk up the stairs. My phone gets a text message. The 2 lines I can read are, "Felicia, we've been trying to contact you."
It's crazy.
I was like, "Oh, come on." Like, and all that happened. I'm not lying about a single thing. Now that could be all coincidental. I get that. But that's so many coincidences that fit what she wanted to do. And the feeling, here's the thing, Rick, the feeling you get in your stomach when something's real as opposed to when it's not.
Exactly.
I really think like that's why it's on a personal level, because I can't explain to you the feeling in my stomach completely that I had that day, because I felt like things were opening up And it just was a really freaked me out day. Like, I don't want to be that. I'm like you. I don't want to be that close to the paranormal. But I felt like that day was like an opening where, like, my mom was like, all right, here's one, here's another one, here's another one, here's another one. Are you all right now? Are you okay? I'm all set. Are you okay with this? So it's been weird, but it's helped. Rick, I babbled. Here's what I want to say. I look forward to what's coming. I look forward to the new year. I look forward to working with you. I look forward to even just discussing the whole layout of things. I really see like a really positive future for Legit Paranormal, for Block Island, the ghost hunting, for a lot of different things. I can see us getting together, making it right, and then letting it run itself. Because the goal is to get things connected and let people run their own things.
Absolutely.
But stay connected so that we can always cross-pollinate, send people around. To be able to tell them, hey, go here on Block Island, or go here, go there. These are different things you want to do. That'll put everybody on the same page.
Yeah, the more the merrier, brother.
Yeah.
You know?
And we can get your bar packed. Right, buddy? Right?
Absolutely.
Buddy alone might drink.
Buddy alone will pack club soda. Forget about it.
Rick, what would you like to say before I wrap up? Would you like to plug any shout outs?
Just, we're going to keep on keeping on. If you, anyone listening to this podcast, if you want to come out, we're real easy to get in touch with. Our phone numbers are on the Ghost Tour website, but it's such a small community this time of year. You can just ask whoever you see when you're getting off the boat, they'll find us. Come on and check things out, man. It's a blast out here.
Buddy, it just seems like a very untapped area. I've heard a lot of good things about Block Island as far as fun things.
That's another cool thing about it. If you don't have luck in one area, you can literally go 2 minutes down the road and you got a fresh place to start.
Plenty of haunts on Block Island for sure.
Can't I just go to the beach? Is there a beach? Right?
The beach is very nice.
Sun's out, guns out, right?
Guns
is that
out,
how we work?
Yeah.
All right. I'm down for that. Yeah. But then again, shirtless. Yeah, me shirtless. No. I'll probably just cover it up. I want to buy a tube top. Can men wear tube tops, buddy?
Absolutely, Mike. It's a gender fluid society that we live in nowadays. So there's going to be no judgment laid upon you because it's okay, Mike, if you feel that way about yourself.
I just want to go back and make a clip of, can men wear tube tops? Like, that's the dumbest question I probably have ever asked. Like, I really, like, I don't know where the hell that came from.
I think Clark used to wear the tube tops down the beach.
Did he?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not that crazy.
Wow.
Every time you think something's crazy, someone's already done it. Like, you might think you're doing like a new sexual position. You're not really. It's just one of the other ones. Maybe it's a variation. Like, you think you're really doing something different tonight, but no. You just, it's a base. I mean, let's say. Men can be cross-dressing cannibals.
Ooh, she was paying attention.
Yeah,
they can.
That's who Hayden Clark. The tube top crossing. Put
on a wig.
Quite honestly, Sarah, how many female cross-dressing cannibals do you know? And you know why there's none? Because they don't put the work in.
That's right.
It's not our fault.
There is no do. There is no try. There's only
Sarah, if you want some cross-dressing female cannibals, and you got to get to it. There's a lot you got to work on. You got to figure out like a men's wig that you can get away with, and then the eating and killing and storage of the thing. It ain't easy, Sarah. So I don't. Just say that. How many serial killers are females, anyways? There's just that one, right? That one that they talk about.
Nurses.
Couple.
Is there?
Yeah.
There's a few, Mike. Yeah, there's a few.
I think it's always men. Seems like it's always white males, right?
It's a lot of men.
Yeah. Non-Italians. But more of that white European. Because we didn't come here till 1910, between 1910 and 1920. Anything before 1910, Italians have no responsibility for. That's all on you guys.
You people murdered people, but you did it in different means. You might have been considered serial killers on some level, though. If you think about it like that,
You're not dropping any mob references, are you there, buddy?
No, Mike. No, Raymond Petrarca. None of that shit, Mike.
Buddy, you do not want to sleep with the fishes.
Oh, I don't want to sleep with the fishes, Mike.
Stay away from making fun of the Italian mob. That's the one thing you don't do. There's one. You go up Federal Hill and you just start yelling out the Italian mob sucks. And we see how long you can make it.
Guinea, wop, wop,
Hey,
wop.
where's the guineas? Come on out. And then they'll come out. They'll come out with sticks, bats, anything. There'll be nanas lined up with wooden spoons ready to take you out.
Old Dagos.
Say, I swear to God, nothing worse than a nana with a wooden spoon in her purse. There was nothing scarier. Sorry I kept you so long, Rick. I like going over the 1 hour and 30-minute mark. I have a reason for that now. But it is what it is. Buddy, you have anything you want to say before we wrap it up?
I do, Mike. I have two things I would like to say. One, tune in next week, next Sunday, the day before Halloween. We'll be joined by a medium, a psychic medium, if you will, from here in Rhode Island. His name is David Barr. He was recommended to me from a very good friend of mine. He's very special. And this friend of mine's skeptic, and he said, dude, you got to talk to this dude. He's something. So I'm going to take it from the skeptic, and we're having him on the show next week. My question to you, Rick, is when would be a good, should I do an off-season trip with Ocean State Paranormal or an on-season trip with Ocean State Paranormal?
Whatever's clever for you guys. We're here. So
Okay.
Off season, we might be able to get into some of these places that it might be too busy to get into in the summertime. And then, the other side of that coin is summertime, everything's open, so we can get into a lot of different places.
Right. And we've talked, and yeah, I have a lot of places I want to go back to, but yeah.
Whenever.
Rock Island is always been top of my list.
And I'll see you guys next Thursday as well.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. But you forgot. What type of medium is he? 1, 2. You forgot about Thursday. I want Thursday to be everyone that's listening, everyone that's, buddy, you're close to, people that I'm close to, Rick, your whole crew. I want to get people down there that want to be there and are there to hear other people's stories, not tell their own. Just. Do you know what I'm trying to say to you? Like,
right.
I want people
some
that
really good ghost stories, but I look forward to hearing other people's ghost stories as well.
I'm gonna tell one. I can't wait to tell mine.
I got a few, Mike.
I'm making mine up.
Real things. None of them were whilst I was investigating. They're all happened like whilst. Never whilst investigation. It was always like just doing my thing and like, oh my God, I just saw a ghost. Or
whilst.
I think it's whilst.
I don't think it's whilst.
During said, I don't know, whatever.
Is it whilst, Rick?
Thursday to Paula and tell your favorite spooky story for Halloween and have a good time, have a few beers, and yeah.
Fun.
Whilst.
But what were you saying about whilst?
Whilst.
Oh, yeah. Did you just hear that pronunciation?
I thought that was your wife. Like, no, what was that?
Whilst. All right, I'm done.
Whilst.
All right, buddy.
Whilst.
Hey, by the way, the last meeting we had on was just me and him, and he told me I'm going to die at 73 suddenly.
Yeah, I don't know about that, Mike.
I appreciate that.
We'll ask David Barr next week when you're going to die, and if you didn't party like a rock star until then.
No, I don't want to. Look, here's the thing.
I don't want to know.
What I did like about knowing 73 was I said, so wait a minute. You're saying I die suddenly in 73? He's like, yeah. I said, is that sure? He said, yeah. I said, well, I'm going to party like my ass off. I can't die. You can't kill me.
Right.
I got the YCKML on my chest. It says, you can't kill Mike Lepre. That's literally what it stands for. Buddy, I got a long time to go, kid. I can't wait to rock till I'm 70, whatever. 4, 5, whatever. Rick, thank you for having the time to come on with us. I'm telling you, I look forward to working with you in the future and into the summer. And we have a lot of crazy ideas. And I know that you guys are just the type to take that and run with it, because I like the way you handle things. I've always liked Dave. I've gotten to know you. Both of you are what I would call quality people. I haven't met the rest of your staff. I feel bad I made fun of the girl with the hat, but now that I know she wears it all the time, I don't know if I feel bad. So I gotta actually have something like a talk to myself.
You're fine. Yeah.
I gotta come to peace with myself with the hat, because it's just so culture club, like Madonna, like a virgin type round. You know what I mean? Like, I wear dumb hats. Buddy can attest. I like Burt Reynolds. so I shouldn't speak.
I like
But
that.
But I did anyway. I do. I love Burt Reynolds. Him and Tom Selleck. They're men with mustaches. I like mustaches. Let me digress. I'm going to stop on that because we did do a mustache song that was like 8 minutes. It was a hidden track. It basically was, you know who Schneider was from that TV show? He was the handyman. All right. So the chorus goes, Schneider, Raleigh fingers. Schneider, Raleigh fingers. And then when it goes to the next person, he has to go Mr. and name somebody with a mustache. So it'd be like Mr. Tom Selleck. And then it goes around and you keep drinking until somebody can't come up with a name of a guy with a mustache. Because someone always says something stupid like Abe Lincoln. And you're like, God damn it. All he's got is a beard. He doesn't got a mustache, and that guy's out. So, for Block Island, Ghost Tours, and Rick Lysik, for Buddy, Money, Fair, it's me, Mike Lepre, King Michael, the guy who said take the Panthers and Giants outright as a parlay. You probably made about $1,500 if you listen to me. That's what I do. We will see you again tomorrow night, buddy. We have legit paranormal vacation plan is tomorrow night.
We do, Mike. We're staying right in New England again. We're gonna do the Leafs.
We go to
the scenes.
We visit haunted hotels and tell you if you stay there. And then on the 27th, we have this show. I am going to start advertising for the show tomorrow amongst the people that I do know. And I fully expect them all to stop by on a Thursday and hang out with us. Why would you not? You know what I'm saying? Like, what else are you going to do? Don't give me any crap. Buddy, people that wear costumes are going to get in half price.
Ooh.
I've already made that announcement with Greg.
That's wonderful. I'm going to dress up like you, Mike.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever.
Buddy,
I couldn't do that all.
What are you going to just walk into the CVS store, look for handsome?
Yeah, I'm going to dye my beard white, you know.
All right. Costumes are in, but no games. No pin the tail on the donkey, no bobbing for apples, and no pushing like a peanut or walnut across the floor with your nose. None of that stupid shit. We can't do those games. Shit. I know you wrote about them in the email and you wanted to do them.
Mike has bobbed for many an apple, and his days of bobbing for apples are done.
I don't know what you mean by that, but I'll tell you this much. When I used to sign in, when there was a substitute teacher, I would always put the name Bob, and the last name was Frapples, Frapples. And we had this one old Italian sub, and she'd be like, Frapples? Bob Frapples? Is there a Bob? Dude, that's so juvenile. It's as juvenile as when I found the North Providence Art Festival sign, and at 3:30 in the morning, I spray painted an F on both sides so that for the next 2 weeks, people saw the North Providence Fart Festival. And I laughed uncontrollably while other people called me childish and moronic. The shoe fits, wear it. Thank you, guys. You'll see you tomorrow night. Rick Lysik, thank you so much. We